interesting stuff because, you know, a lot of people have heard of the Gentlemen, but I think there's a sort of a whole, you tend to be connected with the Gentlemen over a long period of time, so you can sort of speak to the history of the rugby team, the Aspen rugby team, and maybe start off with your introduction to the rugby team, and then also the pivotal game and moment where you guys actually were in a tournament and kind of beat the New Zealand team.
Well, there's a lot of those pivotal moments because it was a long career that I had with them, but there's three guys that really started the team. One was named Steve Sherlock, who was a carpenter there in Aspen, but he was a New Zealander, and Bruce Oliphant, who was there, and he was like a bracer New Zealander, and Tom Glackham, who worked for Aspen Sports there, and he had been a rugby guy in the East, and those three guys were the founding fathers, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And what year was that?
It's probably the mid-'70s.
Okay.
I want to say. Yeah.
Wow. So because I got there in 76, 77, so that was right at the beginning of that.
Yeah, we were already playing, though, right?
Yeah. Did
we have a Ruggerfest at that time?
Yep. Ruggerfest. I remember Ruggerfest all the time.
That was probably one of the first ones when you got there.
Yeah, it was crazy because there'd be like a scrum of people all the way around the field, and then inside would be rugby going on.
Yeah. Well, it was the same way with our football field. We never had anything but little rope line around the field. People just went anywhere they wanted to go, except on the field.
So, did you guys get to travel anywhere exciting for tournament?
Rugby team?
Yeah.
Oh, we went to Vegas for a tournament, and I believe we went to the West Coast for one time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And some group of guys actually went to Europe, but I didn't go on that because I was coaching at the time. They went in the fall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The rugby guys from Aspen High School were clappers, a couple of clappers. There was only 800 of them.
Yeah.
Andrew Doremus played a little bit one year. Jim Cerise played quite a bit. Let's see. I haven't thought of this in a long, long while, but we had a number of guys that all played football for Aspen, and then they played rugby.
Oh, okay.
The only guy that didn't play football for me that played rugby was Doremus, but he only played 1 year, I think.
Okay. What? So Lowe wrote a little bit of an article about how there was a Rolling Stone concert at CU, and the Gentlemen were hired to be the bodyguards. Did you hear about that, or were you part of that?
I didn't go. They weren't bodyguards; they were security.
Security. Okay, yeah, security. That's what I. Yeah. What was that? How did that? Do you know how that happened? Did they just call up or how did that?
You know, Aspen was the kind of place where somebody knew somebody all the time. So that's how it evolved. Somebody knew somebody that was putting that thing on and needed some people to help watch the crowd. So they asked the Gentlemen if they would be interested, and some of them said yes, and they went and did it.
Wow. That's kind of an interesting combo, you know, rugby players as security guards.
Well, not really, because rugby guys are used to contact.
Oh, no. I know they're tough dudes. They're usually really big, too. That was one of the things.
Oh, yeah. There were little ones like me, too.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was really fun when you showed us how to play rugby.
Yeah.
And at us short dudes as the scrum guys, or the guys in the center there.
Yeah. They're the guys who took most of the punishment.
Yeah.
That's why I avoided it.
Yeah. with what little shin guards you could have.
Yeah.
Shin guards.
You're only supposed to use a piece of equipment to cover an injury. We had some cheaters that, used other stuff like on their elbows so they could throw their elbows at people. But
I remember. Okay, so I don't know if you read my book, but I have a story where I was in the hospital because I had stomach pains and we didn't know what it was. And so I was sitting there on a gurney waiting for the doctors to try to talk and figure things out. And all of a sudden, someone comes pulling in a gurney and they pull the curtain, and they pull this guy next to me so I can't see, I can only hear. And the guy is like, "Fuck, just sew my ear back on. I want to get back into the game." I knew I was sitting right next to a gentleman.
Rugby wasn't a game for sissies, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That was soccer.
Yeah.
There was an old saying, soccer is a game for sissies and rugby is a game for gentlemen.
Is that where the name came from?
I think so, yeah. That came from Steve Sherlock, who was from England and played over there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.